Well, they contacted us, but I didn't feel ready. There was something inside, and even the thought of it made me nervous.
Oh, sweet, gentle breeze,
What happens when a single voice becomes more powerful than a billion-dollar empire? In the year 2025, one girl didn't just break the rules of the music industry, she set them on fire. While the world's biggest labels offered her everything, Lucy Thomas chose the one thing they couldn't buy, her soul. This is not just a success story. This is a digital revolution. This is the era of the sovereign artist. In the high-stakes corridors of Manhattan and Los Angeles, the big three, Universal and Warner, reportedly laid out the red carpet, waving contracts worth tens of millions. But Lucy Thomas didn't just walk away. She set a match to the traditional blueprint. By the twilight of 2025, her refusal to sign with the industry's gatekeepers became the stuff of legend. While her peers traded their masters for the fleeting warmth of a label's spotlight, Lucy chose the cold, hard path of Cavendish Records. This wasn't just a business decision. It was a declaration of war against the archaic machinery of stardom. She bet everything on a radical truth, that in the digital age, a direct line to the hearts of millions is more powerful than any corporate marketing budget. Her independence is her armor, and her ownership of her masters is her crown. She has redefined the American dream for the music industry, proving that the soul of an artist is not a commodity for sale, but a kingdom to be defended at all costs. As the clock struck midnight early in 2025, the digital world shook. 1 million subscribers. This wasn't just a number. It was a battalion of loyalists that forced the industry to stop calling her a YouTube singer and start calling her a threat. From a humble studio in Lancaster, she managed to outmaneuver the most sophisticated marketing teams in New York. The industry's elite watched in a mixture of horror and awe as her digital dominance translated into a global reach that ignored borders and bypassed radio programmers. Every subscriber represents a personal connection, a bond forged in the fires of authenticity that no billboard could ever replicate. This surge in power gave her the ultimate leverage in negotiations, turning her into a titan of musical theater and a global icon who owns the keys to her own kingdom. She is the architect of a new world order where the artist is the master and the platform is merely the stage. While the industry's heavyweights spent fortunes on glitzy promotional tour, Lucy Thomas remained entrenched in her home studio, wielding the power of the internet like a precision weapon. The jealousy radiating from major label offices was palpable. How could a girl from Lancaster achieve global saturation from her living room while they struggled to keep their artists relevant? Her ability to command the attention of the world without the permission of a CEO became a symbol of the new American way in music, efficient, authentic, and terrifyingly effective. She proved that the geography of fame has shifted from Hollywood boulevards to the fiber-optic cables of our homes. Her success is a stinging rebuke to the old guard, a reminder that the tools of production are now in the hands of the visionary. She has turned her personal sanctuary into a global headquarters, proving that the heart of the music industry now beats wherever the artist chooses to stand. On December 16, 2025, the music world witnessed a seismic shift. The White Christmas event wasn't just a concert, it was the birth of the digital residency. Instead of the grueling, soul-crushing logistics of a traditional tour, Lucy harnessed the power of data to bring the world to her. In just 90 minutes, she generated a revenue stream that rivaled months on the road, all while preserving the integrity of her voice and her well-being. This was in modern business, a stunning proof of concept that challenges the necessity of physical touring in the digital age. For her American fans, this was a front-row seat to history, accessible from every corner of the States. She has pioneered a sustainable path for the future, proving that an artist can reach the stratosphere without burning out. The digital residency is her legacy, a testament to her intelligence and her refusal to be a cog in the traditional touring machine. When Lucy Thomas stepped onto the legendary stage of the Royal Lane to lead the musical, It was supposed to be a standard career move. Instead, it became a battlefield. Behind the velvet curtains, a fierce creative war erupted between her independent team and the rigid traditionalists of the West End. The conflict was fundamental. The directors demanded a standard Broadway sound, but Lucy refused to dilute her unique vocal identity. She stood her ground against the titans of theater, risking her reputation to protect the purity of her gift. Her eventual victory on that stage wasn't just a win for her. It was a win for every artist who has been told to fit the mold. She proved that even in the most traditional environments, authenticity is the highest currency. Her performance in will be remembered as the moment the West End was forced to adapt to her, not the other way around. Independence is a double-edged sword, and in 2025, the blade cut deep. When private demo recordings were leaked onto the dark corners of the internet, there was no massive corporate legal department to hide behind. Lucy and her small, elite team were forced to navigate the treacherous waters of international copyright law alone. It was a high-stakes test of her infrastructure, a moment where the vulnerability of her independent model was exposed to the world. Yet the way she handled the crisis, with transparency and swift, decisive action, only served to strengthen the bond with her fans. In the USA, where legal battles are often public spectacles, her poise under pressure was hailed as a sign of true leadership. She didn't just survive the leak. She used it to demonstrate that she is as formidable a businesswoman as she is a singer. The storm proved that while she may stand alone, she stands on a foundation that cannot be easily shaken. As the frantic pace of 2025 reached its crescendo, whispers of a shadow over her career began to circulate. Speculation regarding vocal fatigue became the subject of intense debate among critics and fans alike. The immense pressure of being a global icon, a West End lead, and an independent mogul started to show its cracks. This is the silent killer of many great careers, a professional risk that no amount of independence can fully mitigate. For her American audience, who have seen many stars flame out too early, the concern was real. Every performance was scrutinized for any hint of strain, turning her late 2025 appearances into high-tension events. This mystery adds a layer of tragic tension to her narrative, the hero who gives so much of herself that she risks losing the very thing that made her great. It is a reminder that even the most radical independence is bound by the physical limits of the human spirit. With the ink barely dry on her 2025 successes, leaked documents have already sent shockwaves through the industry. A massive, large-scale European arena tour is planned for 2026. This is the ultimate test. Can she maintain her radical independence when faced with the titanic logistical demands of a global arena tour? The industry skeptics are already sharpened their knives, predicting that she will finally be forced to bow to the major labels for the infrastructure required for such a feat. For the USA market, which thrives on arena-sized spectacles, the stakes couldn't be higher. This move is her Rubicon. If she succeeds, she will have permanently broken the back of the traditional label system. If she fails, she will be a cautionary tale. She is betting her entire legacy on the belief that her independent model can scale to the size of a stadium, a gamble that will define the next decade of music. Lucy Thomas is no longer just a singer. She is a case study in digital sovereignty that is being analyzed in boardrooms from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. She has successfully decoupled the concept of superstar from label signee. By 2025, she proved that an artist can own their voice, their work, and their destiny without compromising a single note. Her story is a beacon for the next generation of American artists who are tired of the predatory nature of the industry. She has built a fortress of independence that protects her creative spark from the cold calculations of corporate executives. Her success is a living, breathing proof that the traditional gatekeepers are becoming obsolete. She is the monarch of her own career, a sovereign entity that answers to no one but her audience. In the land of the free, she is the ultimate symbol of artistic freedom, showing the world that true power comes from within. As 2025 draws to a close, The landscape of the music industry has been irrevocably altered by the presence of Lucy Thomas. She has proven that the future belongs to those who are brave enough to own their destiny. Her journey is in authenticity, showing that a girl from a small town can command the world stage through sheer talent and unwavering principle. She hasn't just released music, she has released a movement. For her fans in the USA and beyond, she represents the hope that meritocracy still exists in an era of manufactured fame. Her impact will be felt for generations, as young artists point to her 2025 milestone as the moment the old walls began to crumble. She is the definitive voice of a new era, a star who shines not because of a label's polish, but because of her own internal fire. The era of the corporate superstar is over. The era of Lucy Thomas and the independent visionary has truly begun.